Welcome to episode 1.
Hi.
So this is the first episode, and Misha, what do we have for our guest today?
Well, we have the lovely Ann Anderson, who is the executive director of the Lake Stevens Community Food Bank.
Oh, great! And I did have an excellent interview with her, and she gave me this lovely beverage.
And
So
I got
thank
one
you,
too.
Ann.
Thanks, Ann.
Thank you.
He's not the only special one.
So I have no idea what we're going to call this episode, but it'll pop up on the feeds, right?
And below here.
Yes. Hopefully it gets edited in. Otherwise, I'm just moving my finger like this, and I look ridiculous. Yeah.
I think it's going to be great.
And so you wanted to say something?
Yeah.
Before we go in the interview? Yeah.
You might be wondering why I am so disheveled. And the answer is really simple here. I've been out knocking doors, sweating, talking to people. And it's hard work, it's a great time, and it's a lot of exercise. So if you're looking for a way to shed some pounds in the summer, if you're looking for a way to get your steps up, if you're doing the Fitbit thing, come out.
Talking to you, David, you're sitting on that chair right now,
We see you.
and it's sunny, and you're not out here.
And that's okay. That's okay. It's okay today.
Right.
But next time, if you need some steps, if you want to sweat a little bit, come on out, join us. It's a lot of fun.
Right.
And if you don't like talking to people, but you do like sweating, come on out to the parade, July 21st, July 28th, and that's also going to be a good time. And if you don't like sweating and you don't like talking to people, you can wave some signs for us on the corner.
Well, get a little sweaty, though.
It's not that bad.
No? Okay. Maybe phone calling.
Phone calling too.
Yeah.
If you like talking to people and you don't like sweating, see, we have options for everybody. You can
right.
you can sweat, you can not sweat, you can talk, you can not talk. You got options.
And before we go in this interview, because we're starting to lose people, don't forget you can contact us at the campaign. So just go to electhobbs.com. You can also contact us on an email, which is info@electhobbs.com, or you can talk directly to Misha at electhobbs.com.
M as in mouse, ISHA.
And I see all those emails. We got a phone number too, right?
Yes, it is 425-334-5524.
Hopefully all that stuff gets put in here. I don't know if it will or not, because this is episode 1, but maybe in episode 2 we'll have it. I don't know. But hey, with that, I'm really excited about listening to this interview. Let's go check it out.
Let's do it.
All right. Boom. Hey, folks. We're just talking. And with me is Ann Anderson. Hi, Ann.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing great. And also with us, and you don't see her, is my assistant campaign manager, Misha Jackson. Without her, the sign would fall down. She's doing a great job. So, Ann, what's going on? And before we even go into this, because the listeners and voters may not know who you are, but I know who you are. You feed people here in Lake Stevens.
I do have the pleasure of being the executive director of Lake Stevens Community Food Bank, and it is my pleasure to help feed families in our area.
And how long have you been doing that for?
About 3 years.
Okay. And how did you get into this position?
Well, initially I agreed to help with some administrative work. They were talking about building a new building, and that was pretty exciting. And so I thought that would be a fun thing to help out with. And I guess I just have a tendency to take over because I did.
Yeah. Well, and some people would think, because you live in Lake Stevens, we don't have hungry people here, but we do. We do have families that need help. Is that correct?
As a matter of fact, we helped over 13,000 individuals last year, so that's more than 1 in 3 Lake Stevens residents have received help from the food bank in some way in the past year.
Wow, that you don't even think about that, you know. And I've seen it. I think is it Wednesdays where you have the distribution to people, or when the people come up?
On site we have Thursday distribution.
Thursday, okay.
We also have a new satellite distribution at Lake Stevens Assembly of God on Tuesdays, and the second Sunday of every month, Impact Christian Church does one at Cavallero Mid-High.
Okay. And yeah, and explain to how how's the food bank here work in Lake Stevens?
Well, really, it truly is a community food bank. This community comes together like you would not believe to provide for people in our community. And I think, like you were saying, people don't necessarily think, oh, Lake Stevens is some downtrodden, really, place where people are having a really rough time. But sometimes I think what we neglect to notice is that people who are living in higher income areas sometimes even have a harder time because the cost of living is so high.
Right.
So the poverty level for a family of 4 is around $24,000 a year. And so in order to get SNAP, you have to be, I think it's 180% of the poverty level, but different programs have different, it's all tied to the poverty level. And so, clearly a family of 4 making $24,000 a year here isn't even affording rent. So we have this big gap between people who are eligible to receive benefits and people who are really doing okay. So the equivalent to that, if you adjust for cost of living in our area, is over $74,000 a year. So there's a $50,000 gap between where people can get access to all of the help and where they're, what that would be after adjusting for cost of living.
And with all the need out there, you really have to partner up, right? You have to build relationships within the community, and you were really excited about wanting to talk about that. If you could just share about that.
Absolutely, yeah. We have some really amazing collaborations. I mentioned the 2 churches who are doing satellites with us, and that's been huge for us. We collaborate with the Conservation District.
Okay.
They've actually helped us.
Marty Monty, that guy, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Kate Riley has helped, and Cameron. Anyway, the Conservation District has been an integral part of that. We have the largest community garden. Lake Stevens has the largest community garden in the county. We also have a food bank garden, and we've had a really great success with the Plant a Row initiative, where people from all over the community have dedicated at least one row of their garden to our food bank.
Okay.
So we have amazing fresh produce that we don't pay for. The Conservation District actually did another collaboration with Jim Eichner, and he planted starts for us. He's from Chinook Farms. It was really incredible. So we actually give our clients starts. They can grow their own gardens. We also, through the Conservation District, has a Lawns to Lettuce program, and Terry Meyer and some others will go to people's houses and work with them one-on-one and teach them how to grow food in their own space. So if you just have a small little patio, what can you do? How do you maximize it? Vertical gardens, raised beds, any of that. And so that's been huge. So we, in addition to feeding people with the amazing resources that the community has given us, we also are able to teach them to grow their own food. We have cooking classes on site, so we teach them how to prepare the food. Yeah, we actually, it was interesting. We had all this squash that was donated when I was first there, and I was really excited about it, and I couldn't figure out why nobody would take the squash. And so after talking to people, it turned out that they weren't really sure what to do with the squash.
Oh, okay.
So now we have somebody from Cooking Matters who actually comes, and her name's Pat. She comes and teaches them how to cook on site while they're waiting in line. So we don't have really great space, unfortunately. We're still working on that new building. But so in the meantime, people have to wait outside.
Sure.
But to try to make the most of their time, we try to make it educational. We invite the family center to come out.
Well, and that's the other thing about this. It's not just feeding people, but it's also kind of informing people how to eat, right? The nutrition aspect, which is huge, because a lot of people, you're right, the fresh vegetables, what do I do with this? How do I cook it?
Yeah.
And that's an aspect of what you do at the food bank that I don't think people know about. So that's great that you're doing stuff like that. What about any partnerships with local farms?
We do. So we're actually working on, I think I mentioned Chinook Farms, and they are actually, they're out of Woodinville, but they grew those starts. I believe they were just on EB Island.
Okay.
Craven Farm has been amazing. I think there are a lot of farms near and far who contribute to to the food bank. We used to have a really excellent program. Unfortunately, it's over. It was a 3-year program called Project Harvest. It was through the Conservation District as well, and utilized vistas, and they arranged gleaning projects for food banks all over the county. And we had amazing fresh produce from that program. And like I said, unfortunately, the program's come to an end, but we are. I'm certainly wanting to do whatever we possibly can to keep that going, because
maybe that's
it's amazing.
something. Maybe that's something I'll see you in Olympia about. You know.
I'm sure you will.
Okay. Well, speaking about coming to Olympia and all that kind of stuff, and maybe talking about the future, what do you see for the future of the Lake Stevens Food Bank?
Well, we are really close to being able to build a new facility, and that'll be huge. We're really interested in being able to do cooking classes on site inside, because right now it's outdoors, on a hot plate. And Pat's amazing because she can cook incredible things outdoors on a hot plate. But we would love to be able to bring people in and have a more hands-on cooking experience, have a nice commercial kitchen. We would like to have space to allow us to further collaborate with other organizations. As it is right now, sometimes people are rolling into the food bank on fumes, and they don't have enough gas for me to tell them, if you need lye heap, then go into Everett, and if you need help with clothes, there's a place in Marysville, and if you need, here's what you can do at the Family Center. And so to be able to house more, kind of have more of a one-stop shopping, and it's so important to us to keep our clients at the center of this. I think it's easy to get wrapped up in your own programs and your own what you're doing.
Yeah, because really hasn't the amount of food you can store really hasn't changed in a while, right? I mean,
no,
not by much.
We've been in the same facility since 1978.
Yeah.
We are fortunate that the city actually has rented us an old pole barn out on Soper Hill Road, and that has increased the amount of food that we can store dramatically. Before that, we were paying for storage units, and so it was kind of this crazy situation where when somebody donated food, we had to decide whether or not we could afford to keep it.
Right.
So that's been really amazing to have that.
You had a place at Ebenezer, right? Is where it's at. Yeah, that's been there for a long time.
Yep, yeah, we opened there in 1978.
Wow.
So 40 years. It's our 40th birthday this year.
And hopefully you'll be expanding. So it sounds great that that's happening.
Yep, and that was in large part to help from your office. Actually.
Oh, do tell.
We worked with. We started working with Eric Ashley.
Great guy.
Amazing, yeah. So that was over 2 years ago. And so I went in there and kind of looked at my feet and said, maybe, pretty please, could we get some money could you help me with this paperwork?
Right.
And he was incredible. And then, he's now at the Economic Alliance, which is great, so he's still around. And Jennifer came in and didn't miss a beat. She's been amazing and so helpful. And of course, you. But so we were able to, in between the capital and supplemental budget, we got $506,000 in state funding.
That's great. And and one thing, I pass these big bills and everything, but it's helping the community and doing things like that kind of gives me the best joy, helping the people out.
Well, the impact is huge.
Yeah,
really,
yeah, no, absolutely. And I look forward to working with you next session, and that'll be great. So if someone wants to donate, how they do that, how they get to you, how they communicate that, or who they write the check to.
Me personally, no, just kidding. No, it's our 40th birthday, so that's a great thing to give somebody a donation.
That's right.
So we have a website, www.lakestevensfoodbank.org. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/Lake Stevens Food Bank. You can email me, director@lakestevensfoodbank.org. Frequently people just flag me down at the grocery store or the park or wherever. But you can mail a check to Box 1031, Lake Stevens, Washington 98258. So yeah,
And just make it out to Lake
Lake
Stevens Food Bank?
yeah, Lake Stevens Community Food Bank or Lake Stevens Food Bank. But yes,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all the hard work that you've been doing for the community. It's awesome, and I know the whole community appreciates it. Everyone knows what you've been doing, so thank you so much.
well, thank you so much for all of your help in facilitating our new building and for your support with feeding families in our state.
Yeah, well, thank you. And thank you to Misha for holding up the sign. Otherwise, it'd fall over and be really embarrassing. So, with that, thank you for listening to Just Talkin'. Catch you later.
Oh man, what a great conversation, huh?
Yeah,
That was really
good.
great.
Yeah, she's doing a lot for the community.
It's awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Anne, for sticking around having that conversation with us, and thank you for leading the way on it.
Yeah, well, that's what state government is. You try to help as many people as you can. So that's what it's about. So, do we have anything else, or is that it?
That should be just about it. Don't forget electhobbs.com if you want to donate.
That's right. And I think by the time this goes out, ballots will be out, or they're about ready to be out. So don't forget to vote and turn it in. Vote Steve Hobbs. That's very important. If you're not going to vote for Steve Hobbs, don't turn your ballot. Oop, no, just joking. I'm all for democracy. Turn your ballot, no matter who you vote for.
Democracy is great.
And lastly, don't forget you can contact us or check out our website at electhobbs.com. All the contact information is below. And the phone number?
425-334-5524.
That's right. And hopefully you'll see us at the doors. So with that, catch you later.